Hey, welcome back to Beyond the Manual. Today, we have a new Will It Run, Will It Drive. Is it going to be able to bomb around the neighborhood and maybe make it to the local Quick Trip? It's a golf cart. Let's take a look at it. So this gem is free to us. My father-in-law just dropped this off. I don't know too much about it yet. We're going to kind of go over it and discover it together. I do know that it is a Columbia Par car with a Vanguard engine in it, which is probably good because it means we'll be able to get all the Briggs Stratton parts that we need. At first glance, the clutch belt looks pretty good. We'll probably take the clutches apart, clean them up. We'll have to check the back shivs as well. There's a few things we're gonna do. Probably inspect the bushings. But this sat out at a barn, next to a barn, for the better part of 3 years, and we were told that it ran when it sat. So I'm sure with a little cleaning. Oh yeah, look at all that sediment. Holy Moses. Okay, well, it's a good thing there's a filter in line because there's probably a quart of garden soil sitting in the bottom of that. So we're going to get this tank out, drain it. We're going to power wash this thing. Doesn't look like the mice got at it too bad. Plywood seat over there has seen better days. But we are going to not only clean this up, fix it, we're going to go and order some parts we need to do this right. But we're going to build probably some type of seating and rack on the back for yard work and kids. We're going to get rims and tires put on this. And I think we're going to paint it. I know we're going to paint it. The only question is, am I going to paint it white? Am I going to paint it blue? You'll have to wait and see. But I have the wife and the kids and we have a plan for the paint on this. So we'll probably sketch that out with some pencils, and you'll see that kind of as we progress here. But we're going to check everything from wheel bearings and kind of go over this from front to back because we want this to be a reliable cart for the property. Missing a hinge over there. That's fine. Things like that we'll find. We'll start making a parts list for this thing. And see what we need to do. But it looks like just about everything's here. We have keys, which is funny because we have no ignition. But I believe this is the ignition switch now. So that's approved. But I do like the keys just for control. So we will probably get a riding lawnmower key set or whatever, and we'll fix that up. We got a broken bracket over on that side, but I just want to hear it run. So we're going to try to run it. I'll probably pull that. We'll get that shoved in a container with some fresh gas with maybe a little Berryman's in there. And I just want to see if this fires before we really go any further. Because I'm also not against just Amazoning? Going on Amazon and just ordering a whole new motor for this. So I want this to be something that the wife and kids can just start up and bomb around the yard. We do have our Craftsman, our Sears battery charger from 1989 on boil. We're just going to leave it sit there for a while because this thing is probably old when it was put in and it's probably been dead for all 3 years. So we're going to make sure that's smoking hot, clean up the battery terminals a little bit, and we'll see if we can figure out how to get this thing cranked. I'm pretty sure that is the ignition switch there with a electrical tape insulator that's approved. That hooks to the pedal, which is your engine start, stop, go, typical golf cart operation. So stay tuned, follow along. This should be a fun little project. Oh, straighten her out. These are heavier than I look, or I'm weaker than I think I am. Not too far, little guy. All right, we're gonna pressure wash this thing, and I mean, we're just gonna beat it to death with a pressure washer, get all the mud, dirt, crud out of here so we can see what we're doing. Then we can figure out how to get this off because, well, this switch wasn't hooked to anything, and I actually found the ignition here. So the keys are actually for that ignition. It's just laying in here with a pile of wiring that I can't really see with the cover on. So first things first, pressure washer, hose, lots of soap, ultimate pressure. So please indulge me for just a moment while I go off on a tangent. Guys, when you're buying a pressure washer, don't worry about the brand name. I hear this all the time from my buddies like, oh, you got a Simpson. Brr, I got a Ryobi. Oh, mine's a Honda. You know what makes up a pressure washer? An engine and a pump. Super secret fact, there's only two, in my opinion, two pumps on the market worth their spit. Either a triplex AAA pump, check, or a Karcher. If you have a Karcher pump, almost of any model, it's a good pump. And then the engine. In this case, it's pretty easy to find one with a Honda. Let me tell you, you can get this setup with a Honda motor and a triplex pump from quote Simpson for like $400 cheaper than you can get an actual quote Honda pressure washer. So don't care about the frame, ladies and gentlemen. Just buy the one with the best motor and the best pump. Who cares what the brand name is? Anyways, that's my rant on pressure washers. We're gonna get this opened up, get you set up. I'm gonna get that hooked on this and try to get some soap on this, let it sit. I'm gonna waste some cans of degreaser while we're in there, and then we'll clean that all up. So I gotta find my tripod because shop's a mess, and we'll go from there. And speaking of shops, I cleaned. I've been organizing the extra tool chest, all labeled up now. So I didn't even actually intend on this, but gray, blue. I like it. And yeah, somewhere in here is a tripod. So let me find that, set you up, and we'll get the pressure washing this beast. All right, now that all that clay, grass, hay, manure, everything else that was in here is out, we can actually see, well, we have a VIN number. That's neat. That'll help us when we need parts. Other than that, everything cleaned up pretty good. There's no holes in the muffler. I don't see any broken springs. Probably a leaky shock. That's fine. But blasted the battery, because that's what you want to do. I mean, the clutch shivs don't look terrible. So, see if oh yeah, it turns over. Okay. So yeah, we'll let this dry off here, and then we'll have to get that off, check that wiring before we can, well, we could hot wire it here, but let's just get that right, make sure the key works, and we can go from there. For free, you can't beat it. And again, this came from an old farmer, I think, who passed on now, and this is what he tooled around on the farm with. So the majority of its life, you know, is probably going up from the house down by the cows, house down by the barn, whatever the old man was up to. But even the tray that the battery sits on isn't completely rusted through, which is great considering the amount of battery acid we had sitting on there. But we'll dollar up a little bit. I think I already found some seat cushions I like. I went on the Temu, found a universal rack we'll probably make work on here. That has the seats and the bench. But first we got to get it running, make sure it does all that before we go throwing realistically $1,000 of parts into this. So, all right, we'll figure out how to get that off. We'll get all this cleaned up, let it air dry. Then maybe we'll sit on it and make some fun golf cart noises. You know what? I'm back. I'm this far, and generally speaking, I'm an idiot and I can't wait. So we're going to take the master key here and the steel me junction, as Derek likes to put it. We'll see if this thing spins over on its own, or if this even works. Oh, look at all that flinging water. Look at that. Oh, what a beautiful thing. All right. Lots of things to do here. I'll get back on track. All right, I want to start by getting this gas tank out of here. Let's just get that cleaned up. We can spray underneath it, rinse it out, and refill it with some clean fuel that we know isn't going to gum up our carburetor any more than it probably already is. Half inch, both sides are half inch. We'll find out. Salt ratchet. Legal in every state except California. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Looks like the fuel. Oh, it was there. Never gonna see that again. Front washer. Looks like it's held on by 2 half-inch bolts, front and rear. I don't think there's anything underneath it. So it might be a little tricky. I think we got it. Oh yeah. Oh, there's another bolt. It's gone forever. Oh, washer. Oh, but where's the bolt? Where's the nut? Where's the nut? Uh-oh. Well, where are ya? Well, that's all that it takes. You know, maybe we'll find that nut. And we'll get this fuel tank out of here. Original. Well, yeah, one original clamp and one aftermarket. Which probably makes sense. Someone probably either changed the original fuel filter. I can pull you out all together? Sure. That's not the right way to do it, but at least then we can clean the screen maybe. Check that out. Ooh, nothing like gas on your feet. Got work cracks on it. Oh, it's a good thing this thing has 5 gallons of fuel in it. What we left with? I'll show you. So this is the screen overall. Not terrible. The fuel pump might have actually been pumping a little bit. Maybe. What do we got? Oh, that's just a gas seal for the tank. Well, there's no holes. I think we'll get out the holes one more time, and not the pressure washer. We'll just get this cleaned up with a little degreaser, and we'll check out the rest of the engine too. It's probably a good time to get to the carb while the fuel tank's out. We can always just plop this little guy into a gas can or empty whiskey bottle, a little fuel in it, test fire it. Alright, we're gonna go in here. Let's check the spark plug out. Yeah, with that open, I can check the spark plug. But then I think we will just check for spark with a tester. And if we have spark, actually maybe we'll do that now before we pull the plug. That might be hard because I don't know where the ignition is. So I think we still have to get that off first. But we can at least, since I'm here. Oh, that spark plug wasn't even, she wasn't even tight. What we got in there? Come on, little fella. Huh, well, I've seen worse. It's definitely running a little on the rich side, but this plug is by no means fouled. So we'll go ahead and throw that back in there. Not tight, but now maybe if we're gonna screw with the ignition and check for spark, we might as well snug it up. Make sure we have a good drone. Another thing is, this doesn't even have an oil. Well, how do you open an oil dipstick? What? What is this? Holy Jesus. Oh, come on. Oh, you are. Oh, boy. Please tell me you have something. Oh, yeah. Fast, full, perfect. That is tight. That is such a weird dipstick. Okay. It was like flat but threaded and only the top swiveled. Good chance to where fuel pump is not doing fuel pump things. Oh, easy on the merchandise. Easy. All right, we're gonna go and see if we can't get inside the cover underneath the hood. I don't know what holds that in other than the broken plastic. What do we got? I know there was a screw here that came out. What else do we got? There's some bolts. What do you bolt into? Do you hold anything here? Okay, so we are under the driver's side and it's hard to see maybe. Oh no, there's a bolt right there that does appear to hold the plastic in, but that's it. So I'm gonna guess there's one on this side. I'm gonna guess that one's missing. Because, well, I mean, look at this magnificent beast. And we'll see if we can lift this up high enough up the steering shaft, I guess, and see if we can't figure out that ignition wiring. All right, well, we're not gonna break it anymore. That's already broken, but with the right stick and getting that bolt out, you can kind of see there's just like a nut zert in there. That side's pulled out or broken. It's okay. What is this? What is this guy? What are you? I don't know. Have to look at a wiring diagram. Bell. Oh, bet you that's a backup beeper. Yeah, I can feel the screen. Backup beeper. Oh, that's going to be eliminated. Okay, look at this mess of wiring we got. Here's the ignition switch that someone's been into 10,000 times. Great. We got open wiring here. Don't know what that does. But the guy did have a switch in this. Wondering what that switch did. Do I still have that switch? I have to get another switch. See what happens when, or maybe we'll jumper these two together, see if we have anything here. Let's go find out. If you don't have any of these, go get yourself a pack. They come in really handy when trying to troubleshoot things. And let's see here. Where are you? Oh, I'll go get you. All right, is it jumpered even right on the plastic? it's on. That's jumpered. Oh, look at that one. Probably couldn't catch it on camera. I startled myself. So these, well, I jumpered them and they sparked. So I think this is legit black ground red positive. And the question is why and where and what is this switch back here? Orange. I'm assuming orange. What is this now? Look at this switch. What does this little switch do? Oh, I'm pulling on that choke cable. That's why she's not happy. Sorry. Let's see. What is that switch for? It's such a weird spot. I mean, I don't want to have to resort to wiring diagrams. Let's just take a peek. So, we have an open terminal there, which is another switch? I don't understand. Oh, does this? Okay. I see. The switches, I believe, are for when you move this from forward and then reverse. Forward, reverse. So that makes sense. That would also make sense why the reverse yellow gets fed over to the buzzer. And I'm sure black is then tied to ground. And then orange. I'm assuming, well, normally orange would potentially be off an ignition. Maybe it's coming off an ignition relay. But if we look inside, by inside it. Yeah. We got orange. Yeah. Well. Looks like, yeah, I'm gonna say the run relay must be what's coming off the run relay. Maybe a voltage regulator, something like that. It's kind of what it looks like, what we got going on. But we know this does things because it cranked the engine over. So there's not much to these. It can't be that hard. But let's grab a key. I had keys. When I find the keys, we're gonna try a key. Ah, keys. Okay. This should be fairly easy to tell. Yeah, see, when I'm in the run position, I can't remove the key. And if I go to the other position, I can't. So this should be on, at least from an ignition standpoint. I still don't know why we have a flying hot lead up here. I'm assuming that's gonna have to go somewhere. But these all look like they're making a connection of some sort. I mean, as far as a decent-ish crimp. I don't see any wires pulling out. At least this guy used real butt splices. Kind of wondered maybe if that hot has to come up here. Well, let's find out. It should. The parking brake, forward. See, you get nothing there. And when you push that pedal, it should. Can I do this with enough hands? See that switch open up right there? I can hear. Okay. Oh. So I can hear this relay doing relay things. So that's telling me what? I gotta think about that for a minute. Relay's doing relay things. It's clicking in. Oh, so that relay might be bad then. If it's clicking in and this isn't turning over, we should be able to test that. So that might be part number one we have to go and acquire. I might even, do I have one anymore? No, I don't think I do. Okay, so if this is off then, the ignition off, we should not get a clicky from the relay. That'll at least tell us if that's working. Yep. No clicky from the relay. So that ignition is working in the sense that when it's on, it is giving power. But I wonder if this guy, well, he's red hot. And this is red hot. Let's see. No Sparky-Arky? Could potentially you go there? Let's try it. Can't get the key in holding the camera. Sorry. No, I'm doing it. Sorry about that. We are going to use, I just reorganized the shop as I was saying. Here's our spark tester. We'll get this plugged in. See if we have anything for spark. Okay, that looks like, oh yeah, okay, we're good in. We're clipped in there. All right, I'm gonna try to set you, where am I gonna try to set this? Oh, without making everyone sick online. I think something like that, and you'll have to let me know what we get. So right now our ignition is on. I got my screwdriver on the starter. Ooh, she didn't like that. She didn't like that. Why didn't she like that? Let's find out here. Well, now we get nothing. So is our battery dead? Is there a fuse we blued? I don't know. Let's do a little bit more investigating. All right, we're gonna start here because, I mean, it's not possible at all that it's this absolutely corroded battery terminal. That one's better. This one's not good. And that one's okay-ish, but still not good. So let's get this cleaned up and then see if we can get power back to our starter. Whoa, whoa, whoa. There we go. So I can confirm this relay, no bueno. I can hear it clicking, but I'm gonna guess the mechanics in here are probably corroded to the point where they're stuck. But if you can check this out here, I can just take the starter and just wham! Oop. Didn't see any sparky spark. But that might be because I also have to hold this wire to there and do that. So let me see what I can do. See if I can get spark. All right, I'm gonna try to do this one-handed. I think we got a fuel pump. Oh, come on. Oh, there's a little tight spot in this motor where she'll work its way out. Oh, come on. Let's get you turned where you're not so tight. Look at that. Huh? I don't know if you can see that. We are pumping. Took a little bit. I had a wrap on it a little bit. Oh, come on, don't give up on me. And we got some premium 2-cycle in there just because this thing hasn't run in a while. But boy, oh boy, if it was that dry, It's going to take fuel for sure a hot minute to even get to the carburetor to fill the bowl, which for all intents and purposes, like everything is probably stuck, but we'll see what comes shooting out of there. But we're gonna let this thing just eat for a while, and if I happen to get a fire, I'll come back and let you see it. All right. She fired. She fired and started driving forward. Oh crap. Okay, let me see. Because the way this is, right, it's gonna fire. You hit the gas pedal, right, pull, engine speeds up, clutch is pulling, drives forward. Let me back this up a little bit here so when it fires again. We're not running into the Firebird. That's fantastic. Oh, it's a Briggs. What can I say? All right. Oh, let me go get the tripod so I can set you up so you can catch all this ridiculousness. All right, here comes the ridiculousness. I'm just gonna try to jam the starter onto the battery, work the throttle, and try not to get ran over and not spill my bottled gas. It's expensive nowadays. All right, here we go. Let's see. Not getting run over today. All right, come on, little fella. She's hot. I'm all sparking my amps. All right. She's alive! She's alive! All right. I think once we have that starter relay, I'll do a little maintenance, figure out the rest of the wiring, and I mean, she's sucking fuel out of my bottle. She wants to be a runner. That's good. I'll have to clean that battery terminal up a little bit. She was getting hot. You could tell I was doing some welding down there. I was trying to write my name. Didn't quite get it, but here no more. Now I can start ordering some parts. I know this sucker is gonna run. That's fantastic. Well, good morning. It's another day. I got some help in the shop today. Say hi.
Hi.
He does good work and he's pretty cheap. So we got the gas tank all cleaned up. We got some rust converter working on the rust where the tank goes. We might as well treat that, paint it before we put the tank back in. Right now we're going in and doing all the lines because this system relies on a suction type vacuum pump and they were all cracked and just not good anymore. So we got the vacuum line from the engine in. We took that fitting out, put some goop on it, put it back in and make sure we have good engine vacuum. And we're just going through and getting the line of the carburetor done, and then we're going to work on this one next here, get this filter in, get this whole assembly cleaned up. You can kind of see some of these hoses are pretty cracked over time. It doesn't look like any of them ever been changed. Well, maybe this one does have a slightly different clamp on it. But then we just went through, sprayed up the carburetor, cleaned up a little bit. Eventually we'll have to check the diff fluid, go through and do an oil change. I don't actually see an oil filter on this, so I think it's just a straight dump the oil, put new in. And we'll get some paint sprayed, get the tank bolted in, put our new relay in, the one that was melted down there. And hopefully we can get this set up. We can actually take it for a ride today.
Yeah.
And then we got to get some Amazon parts coming. We got seats and racks and console. We got to get some diamond plate. I got to get paint. There's a lot to do for the 4th of July. Yeah, all right. Well, we're going to get to it. If I find something interesting, I'll bring you back in. I have never seen something so ridiculous in my life. This is a golf cart, people, and this is a four-stage air filtration system. I'm like, look at the size of these wing nuts. This is our aftermarket we're going to try to make work. The existing filter is something like a Nelson part number that had a gasket, had this like turbine piece that was on the end, and then of course they had the cover, and then you have another ridiculously long wing nut. And who knows what this is? I'm gonna guess this is like a foam pre-filter, because why not? Like, because this is a high performance speed machine golf cart that needs 17 million levels of air filtration. Let's find out what this is. Probably another part that's unobtainium. We might just build our own air filter on this and say, yep, she's a hot rod. What we got? Indeed, some type of pre-filter with another gasket. So if I look, this was in there, then a filter, then like this, if you can imagine, this was the old air filter. This was doing other air filter things, and all that was held together by those three giant, I don't know what we're gonna do here. We're not gonna go and get all crazy on this. We might just make or build. Oh, it even says Nelson up there. We'll figure out, we'll take all the pieces and stuff and see what we can cobble together for an air filter. This is ridiculous, people. My riding lawnmower doesn't have this much air filtration on it. All right, thought I'd show you that, because what a cluster. So here's our number one issue, I think, with the starter system in this. This is the one that came out, and I'm not saying that it got hot right there. I'm just saying that something caused the plastic to melt, and all the internals in this are toast. But this is, I don't know, the replacement we found at our local fleet farm here in the Midwest. Depending where you're at, that might be a farm and fleet. But what sold me, right, Wyatt? I believe this Stearns, look at that. Made in the United States. How about that? The Stearns Part Company. I paid a little bit more and bought US made. So this is just, your zero turn light lawn tractor starter. Doesn't really have a ton of specs on it, but that is part number 435436RT-STN. So we're gonna try to use as many of those parts as we can, because, well, made in America. So the good thing is, I think this one was mounted like that. We will have bolt patterns that at least mount up. So we can at least, this might be a different orientation, but we can use the same holes, which is great, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. All right, so we got the gas tank in. We shoved a bottle of carburetor cleaner in it. Quickly blew out the carb. Didn't do much else to it. We changed the spark plug. Got all the hoses. Ran new fuel filter. Right now we just have the foam in there. We're gonna try to run this thing here. Someone put an aftermarket ignition in this. That's fine, I think, for now. Choke, we can probably have to tighten that up too, but this all has to get re-supported. But let's see what happens on a first. Yeah, go ahead, turn. Now, hold on. I think on these, if I remember correctly, turning on the key will run. I think on these, it's a little different than the club car. I think when you turn on the key, it'll start the engine, and then I think hitting the gas pedal acts as a gas pedal. So I think I was wrong initially. I think that's how these operate. We're going to test it a little bit. We can go forward a bit. Hopefully we don't go in reverse. That's dead. I'll put my foot behind this. You know what? We're just going to tire chuck that. Perfect. All right. Go ahead, buddy. Turn the key to on. Listen to that. All right. Gently hit you can leave the key on. Gently hit the gas. Go ahead. Okay. You can let it up. Okay, so got a little work to do there, but we appear to be on the right track. Okay, so a correction to my correction. I'm not exactly sure why I did that. I went and double checked and I was right. This should be ignition on, then gives power to the forward reverse based on then when you hit that. Gas pedal then moves that linkage and should fire the engine, which I can validate here if we go forward. Make sure that's all the way in forward. Otherwise, I think in neutral. Oh, maybe not. Okay, on. Let's go in forward and hit the gas pedal. So it wants to, and again, I think we need just to get this out in the open and play around with it. So I think that's what we're gonna do. Should we move to the driveway?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, well, let's go ahead and I'll fill you in where we're at. I got 2 helpers now. So at one point we had it running. You saw me almost get ran over by it, and it started up just great. When we were in here cleaning up the fuel, doing fuel lines, it had started, right, bud?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden there was like a clank, and then it wouldn't start again. And now, after, me just thinking, well, I'll just take the carb apart. So we cleaned the carb, cleaned all the passages, but go ahead and hit the accelerator.
Wait.
So sure. So this is the where the air filter would go. So go ahead.
All the way?
Yep. There you go. Okay, that's good. Good enough. So yeah, basically we have engine compression coming out of the intake. And I did go ahead and set valve lash, check the springs. These aren't bent. Now, unless something happened to the head of the valve, but I don't hear a whole bunch of banging and a clanging inside the engine when it rotates. So I think, based on a quick Google search, is that this guy probably broke a gear and spun timing. I would bet that we're almost 180 degrees out from where we should be, which is why I can get my fingers sucked into the exhaust and blown out by the carburetor. But we're not going to take this any further. This will probably go down the road for parts. But we did hear it run. We did drive it 3 feet. I don't know why. What do you think we drove it in here? Another 3 feet?
Yeah.
So this thing went from sitting 3.5 years to running a total of 6 feet before catastrophic, engine failure. That's pretty hard to help. We could rip this apart and go through and do that, but we're not going to do that. We're going to do the right thing, right? And surprise mom with something different.
Yeah. Yes.
Yep.
Whoever's watching this, do not tell her.
Do not tell mom. Well, all right. So that does it for this episode. I really wish we could have bombed around the yard on this. Would have been a lot of fun. But thanks for tuning in. Please hit that like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on
Beyond the Man.